You want to apply for a visa to Canada, you want to move to Canada, you want to settle in Canada, but you don't know how to go about it. Lots of people out there who are pretending to help you to come to Canada, but they intend to get your money. Welcome to my channel, Uncle Polo, where I'll be helping you with the process of coming to Canada, most especially as a student. I want you to do your whole process of applying by yourself without giving anyone any money. Remember to subscribe to help my channel grow. Pass these videos to your friends, your relatives, your in-laws, your enemies, and each and every other person that you think may gain value from it. And if you feel there's information that you need me to talk to you about, please comment. I'll go through your comments, and in my next videos I'll put my information related to the questions you ask in the comment section. My journey to come to Canada started about 1.5 years ago, and I started my applications towards the end of the year 2020. How did I go about it? The first thing you need to do if you want to come to Canada as a student is to apply to the schools in Canada. Remember, you'll have to pay application fees. Each school has its own application fees. When you see a school that you feel you'd like to study in, go and follow that school on social media, because once in a while these schools will give application fee waivers. That means you will be applying free of charge. There are events that are organized by the schools known as open houses, and each and every person who takes part in an open house is given a code or a link to use for free application. Different provinces in Canada have different pathways to becoming a permanent resident. While you're planning to come here as a student, your main aim, your goal should be to get permanent residency when you finish your studies. So what I can tell you is that while schools may be cheap in some provinces, jobs may not be so available in those provinces. And the available jobs may be minimum wage. That means the amount of money they pay is not so much. Meanwhile, in provinces like Ontario, in cities like Toronto, Vancouver, getting a permanent residency may be a long and expensive process, but once you are there, there are a lot of job opportunities and you can make a good amount of money so that you can save for your process of applying for permanent residency. While you're looking at the schools you want to apply to, at the same time, you must also think about your financial statement. That is because to apply and get a study permit to Canada or a visa to Canada, you must show that you're financially capable of taking care of yourself. The amount of money you have to show will depend on the province you're going to, and it will also depend on the school you're going to. IRCC will want you to show that you have enough funds to take care of you for a full year. If you're coming with a family member, you have to be able to take care of them too. So your amount of funds you have in your account, in your financial statement, must show that you can take care of yourself and any other person you come with to Canada for a period of 1 year. At the same time, the funds must show that you can pay your tuition at least for 1 year. How do you show proof of funds? The first and the main way of showing proof of funds is money in your bank account. For some countries, you can open a bank account in Canada called a GIC account while you're still in your home country, and this will help you apply for your visa. But for most of the countries, you have to have money in your account in your home country and show a financial statement that shows the amount of money you have and the period that you've been saving that money. The period should normally be 4 to 6 months. Please don't take a huge amount of money and drop into your account at once, because this will lead to a visa rejection. You have to show that you're saving this money gradually. If you have a huge amount of money at once, then you should be able to explain where you got that money from. For example, you sold a piece of land, it's possible. You sold your car, it's possible. So if that happened and you have the receipts to show that you sold something to get that huge amount of money, then go ahead and deposit all that money into your account. After applying for the schools and you've started preparing your financial statement, then you wait for the schools to give you admission. When the school has decided to give you admission, they will send you a letter of acceptance. This letter of acceptance usually may have conditions attached to it. For example, you need to pay a confirmation fee to hold your seat in that school. So each school has its own policies about the confirmation fees and different amounts of the confirmation fees. Some schools may ask you for $500, other schools may ask for $1,000, some do even ask for $10,000. After I got my letter of acceptance, the next thing on my agenda was to collect the documents that I need to come to Canada. What documents do you need to apply for a study visa? You need an acceptance letter that I already talked about before from your school. 2, you need to fulfill the conditions of your acceptance letter. If your letter stated that you need to pay a confirmation fee, you need to pay that money and show the receipt. If the confirmation letter stated that you need to pay part of your tuition, pay that tuition and get a receipt. If you get a visa, then the confirmation fee that you've paid is carried to your tuition. It will be part of your tuition. For example, your confirmation fee is $1,000 and your tuition is $10,000. If you get your study permit and you arrive in Canada, instead of paying $10,000, you'll only pay $9,000 because you've already paid $1,000. The next document you need is the proof of funds. As I already said, you need a bank statement that shows the financial transactions in and out of your account, plus an amount of money that is enough to take care of you here for 1 year and pay tuition for 1 year. At the end of this video, I'll tell you the ways by which you can get your visa even if you don't have that huge amount in your account. Your documents must be either in French or English. If some of your documents are not in English or French, you have to officially translate them into either English or French before you start your application. Another document you may need is English language certificate. This depends on the school that you've chosen. If your school needs you to show a proof of English knowledge, for example, IELTS or TOEFL, make sure you do the exam and upload. Now, some schools don't ask for English language, so you may not need to do the exam, but my advice is if you have the money, please do the exam because it adds on your weight. It shows your seriousness while you're applying to come here. You will also need to upload the documents that pertain to your schooling. That is either your university transcripts and certificates or your high school transcripts and certificates. And as I already said, they must be in English or French. When you apply for a study visa to Canada, you will not do an embassy interview. Instead, you will have to write a statement of purpose or letter of explanation that you'll upload in the system, and the visa officer will use this in place of an interview. You will also need to get a police clearance letter or letter of good conduct depending on the country you're coming from. So for example, from Uganda, you have to go to Interpol. I believe in Kenya it's the same. And this letter must be translated to English or French in case it's not in English or French. Most visa rejections are because the applicants don't show proof that they will go back to their home countries once they finish their studies. So remember, even though your main aim is to get a permanent residency and stay in Canada, while you're applying to come as a student, you have to convince the visa officer that you don't intend to stay in Canada. The major way of showing this is by having physical assets and family members back home. So you have to upload birth certificates or other documents of your family members who are in your home country. Another thing you need to upload to show ties to your home countries are assets, physical assets. For example, do you have land? Do you have a land title? Do you have a land agreement? Do you have a car? Do you own a building? Do you have a business? All these assets show that you have a connection to your home country so that once you finish your studies, you'll go back home and continue with life normally. Of course, you will also need to upload your passport because there's no way you are traveling without a passport. With all these documents in hand, you will go to www.canada.ca. So I'll just show you right now.